17 and a half veterans died by suicide every single day in America. I'm a combat veteran, combat army veteran, and to me, those aren't statistics. Those are brothers and sisters.
And I'm a Marine mom who has buried two sons to suicide. So when we talk about suicide, trauma, survival, and finding your way back, we're not talking about something we read in a book. We lived it.
And we're willing to talk about the things most people won't.
The hard things, the uncomfortable truths, the things that matter. This
This is
is
living to
Live to
tell,
Tell, from surviving to
surviving
thriving.
to thriving.
That's right, Chris. Real talk, hard truths, hard-earned wisdom. Let's talk. Welcome to Living to Tell, from surviving to thriving with Chris D and Mama Lutz. How you doing today, Chris?
I'm doing well. How are you today?
I am doing fantastic. How's your day flowing so far?
I can't complain. I mean, even if I did, who'd be paying attention to me, right? So it's fine.
That's right. Does anybody really care? They don't
No,
want to hear about your complaints. I know. I care, though. I really, really care. So today we're going to start with one conversation. Okay? You ready?
okay.
No, no drum roll, no nothing.
That's the best I
Okay.
could do.
Okay. After you survive the one thing you thought that might break you, now what?
The one thing that I thought would break me, um, I don't know. I thought a lot of things would break me, but I never really thought about that one. Because if I had to think about the one thing that would break me, it wouldn't be money, it wouldn't be a job. It would probably be losing my family.
Mm,
That would be the biggest thing that would probably break me. Because I know for me, it's different for other people, but for me, it's my family is all I have. And by my family, I mean my wife and my kids. Because as soon as you get married and you have your wife and your kids, you're starting your own family. Your parents that's your extended family now. Your brothers and your sisters, that's your extended family now. So then it just turns your family turns into your immediate family that you live with. At least
mm,
that's how I view it. Some people might have the same ideals, some people may not, but for me, that's why for me, the thing that would break me would be losing my family.
mm. Okay. Well, it almost broke me losing my boys.
Yeah.
Almost. I came this close, that close several times. Um, but I remember in the beginning, I set an intention in my own mind. I said, one day I'm going to be happy again. I'm going to love again. I'm going to have joy. Even though I couldn't see it, I couldn't feel it. I didn't know how I was going to get there. I
Mhm.
I wanted it, and eventually one day something clicked inside and said, Janine, you're gonna have to make a change, make a move. Um, if you really want to live. I could no longer stay where I was at. I was drinking really heavily, trying to numb the pain. I'd wake up in the morning some days and I would take a shot of vodka. I'd get up and take care of my dogs, and I would take a shot of vodka and a half of Ambien to go back to sleep because I didn't want to feel the pain anymore, you know? So I started doing that like, once every couple weeks. Then it's done. Then I was up to like two times a week. And that's really, I mean, I was really playing with my life at that point because Ambien and vodka is a deadly combination. And one day I was talking to one of my vets, Solomon, and I was telling him, I really need to do something because I had a plan. I I was going to check out, and something in me said, like I heard a voice, if you could clear your mind, maybe you could figure out or see another way to live. And I said, okay, so how am I going to do that? I mean, I was so toxic, filled with alcohol, crap, food. My weight ballooned to 270 pounds. And I was going to go to this place in West Palm Beach called Hippocrates, and I had it all scheduled and everything. And then at the very last minute, I said, I'm not going. And I told Solomon, I said, I'm not doing it. And he's a Marine, and he got in my face and he said, no, you are going. I said, okay. I said, like, I mean, I guess I just needed to hear that, you know? And so it was December 18th, 2016. I went to Hippocrates Health Institute in West Palm Beach. And, I totally stopped everything, sugar, all the chemicals that I was, ingesting, the alcohol, everything. And I did their 3-week program, and I came out of there a changed person. And but it didn't take 3 weeks to cure me, right? It took about 9 years. From that time, it took about 9 years. And I can say, like, I feel that I'm on a different playing field right now when it comes to my trauma. Like, I feel like I'm in a different place. I feel like I recently had a shift, but I don't it hasn't. I don't know exactly where. I have noticed some things. This I've never really talked about this, but like I felt a few weeks ago that I was in a different place with my own grief, right? And I I mean, of course, I still feel it. Like Justin died August 17th, my second son. So I can already start to feel that I want to isolate some days. So I have to really make an intention. No, Janine, you're just going to go. You're going to do what you got to do. You're going to do. If you want to go play pickleball, you're going to go. You're not going to sit there and like, oh, I don't want to be around people, because that's what happens around those days. I don't want to be around people. So I push myself, you know.
Well, I know exactly what you're talking about. Um, I learned from a very young, when I say young, I don't mean like my age. I mean like in the process at a very young time, you just have to add different days. Like when you're for me it's dates, right? Just like you, it's dates that gets really hard. Um, so what I ended up doing is I just added on different things to do on those days.
Mm,
So when I know that it's getting hard, I started making different memories because then I don't really think about those days. You, it's a little bit different because it's your kids. But for me, it's dates of where I've been, whether it was leaving for Iraq, coming back from Iraq, who died on this day. It's not family for me, it's just friends that I knew, brothers and sisters that I knew. But it came down to when it comes to those days, I just try and do something different and I make a different memory. So I applaud you for actually going out and playing pickleball, especially when it comes time to this time of the year and it gets hard for you. Just keep going, you
right.
know, just keep going and make different memories on that day. Hopefully you'll have a championship and you'll win something on that day, and it'll make it a little bit brighter.
I like that, Chris.
Yeah, just don't sit there.
I like that. I would actually say at this point where I am that I am thriving.
Yeah,
I think I've reached that, you know. What about you?
I'm living, thriving, maybe. I don't feel like I'm thriving, but if I tell everybody else, they'll be like, yeah, you're thriving. But I think I'm living. Living's not a bad thing, and same thing with thriving is not bad. Could I do better? Of course I could do better. Anybody could do better. But I'm not in the hole. I'm not down in the dumps. So I'm living. I'm getting better every day.
Have you heard about, I created this code check card. It's yellow, green, yellow, red. So this is for our veterans, for family members. it's really good for family members to know your trigger dates. Okay. So let's say, okay, my trigger date is one of them is August 17th. So about a month before that, my my people, my group of women, other women that have lost their children, they'll say, "Hey, Janine, what's going on? Let's go out for lunch. Let's go have a cup of coffee." So anyway, the purpose of it is you have your loved ones calendarize your dates. And so they know if you get triggered, you can simply say to your wife, code yellow. So code yellow means that I'm starting to feel a little I'm starting to feel the funk come on me, and I feel myself starting to isolate. And so instead of like being nasty and short tempered with your wife or your loved ones, not saying you are, you can just simply respond with, "Hey, code yellow." That means give me a little space. Okay, give me a little space, give me some room. You should know by now about how long it takes me to come out of this. And if I'm in this funk for too long, that's when it can go into code red. And code red is when code yellow goes into code red. You stay in there too long, you're starting to isolate, you're starting to have negative thoughts. And that's when your loved one needs to know who your local buddy is so they can call up, "Hey, Johnny, come on over here, man. Chris is going through it. I need you to come on over and hang out with him and get him through it." That's why, again, local connection, right? But Live to Tell Foundation provides these cards for free to other organizations and also to veterans. And it's just really nice. It's a good educational tool. And for example, let's say if I was at the movie theater with my son and maybe something in the movie triggered him. So instead of him, "Oh, I got to go, I got to get out of here," getting all upset, all he simply says to his family is code yellow. They don't say anything. They don't get mad. They don't say why, what's going. No, they just all get up. "Let's go. We're going home." Go home, let our person, recover in the room or, whatever it is that they do. And it's just a really good thing. And then if there's other times, maybe they're unsure, because, when people are really going through it, especially when they're first coming out of the military, you know, because I know I walked on eggshells with my son. At home, I didn't know really what I was going to get, each day. And so I could just say, "Hey, Johnny, what's your code?" Like, so I know what he's dealing with. And he could say code green. Everything is honky dory. You know what I mean? What do you think
Yep.
about that? I love it.
I like that idea. I was just looking to see if I had one of those cards, but I don't know where I placed it. But yeah, I'll be honest, it's been a few years since I've actually looked at it. Never really put it in place. I just saw it and I was like, yeah, that's a good idea. I never put it into place.
Oh, okay.
So I failed on that part, but you know what? I'm gonna get that into place soon. Probably
All
next
right.
couple of days I'll get into place and go from there.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. It can be for, spouses, children, mothers, fathers.
Yep.
So
Anybody who's going through something.
yeah, I think it's just a really good tool.
Yeah.
And it's so simple. Looking back, what's one thing do you think you could have, done better than what you did? Or because you have more knowledge now, you would have done something different regarding your growth and your healing.
What's one thing I would have done better?
Yeah.
Um, Communication.
Mhm.
Because how often does anybody ever open up and tell their spouses, this is what I'm going through? For me, I'm not a very open person, and only recently have I started mainly to tell my wife, "Hey, this is what's going on." And this was what, 15 years after marriage? We've been married for 15 years. Only the past five I've actually been opening up, telling her something. Like, "Hey, I'm having a bad day today, and this is the reason why. I'm going through this, and this is the reason why. Help me with this, please, because this is what I'm going through." So for me, it'll be communication. I think would be the biggest thing. Then the second thing would be loving my kids because they should be the joy of my world, and yet I treated them like crap. It was easier for me to just go and be in a room and not really explain anything to them on why I can't carry them because my back hurts, why I can't run after them to play sports with them because my knees are killing me, you know? And that's just the physical aspect of it. What about the emotional part, the mental part? Not being able to explain anything to them at that point. So it would be for me, it's the communication and then loving on my kids after that, showing emotions.
That must be so difficult because I imagine, I can only, relate or equate this to my son John, right? Like when I looked at Johnny, when the family looked at Johnny, I mean, we had Johnny I mean, he was just this Marine, he said he was going to join the Marines. He did it. He was so proud. And then, he goes off, to Iraq and Afghanistan. And, whenever Johnny's around, we all felt safe, right? We are safe. We are in the presence of a Marine. And I can imagine with you too. I mean, the people, when you come back, I mean, I like having military around me, So you're a
Hmm.
big, strong man. Now you come back from war, and now you have to face this. And I don't know the word to give it because I'm not going to call it a weakness, but it's this big, strong man. And now, and you did all that you did in your time of service, and then you trained, you were an expert in the application of war and how to use weapons and all that. And then you come home, and how do you just go from that, to this? How do you make that transition? That is very difficult. I mean, that is difficult for everybody. That is quite an adjustment period,
Yep.
you know? So you say you wish you could communicate, but how? I mean, it's going to take time,
Hmm.
right? It takes time to process that, because when you were going through it, you weren't processing any of it. You were living through it. You were in fight or flight, right? You were just go, go, go. And it's go, go, go. And everything just gets pushed. Everything that you experienced, that you saw, all of that just got pushed down inside you. Okay. Then you get out, and now it's starting to come up, and you got to process all that. That's very, very difficult, Chris.
You go from being a human being to being a caveman.
Mm,
And then how do you get out of being a caveman? That's the hard part.
yeah. It's
That's the way I looked at it.
and the balance of it all. That I mean that and it's, you know what? It can only take time. It has to
Hmm.
be time, you know. We have to give them, and when I say we, I'm talking about the families. We have to give more grace, and we have to be more patient and understanding, and yet we have to have a firm direction, if you know what I mean. I mean, I what I'm trying to say, I guess, looking back, I wish that I was gave Johnny more grace, because I couldn't understand why now my son is coming back here. And when I asked him, questions, like I would ask him, what do you want for dinner? Oh, mom, you decide whatever you want. And then, now I realize he was in the military. He never got what he want. He was told. So that part of it is even a transition. It takes time, you
Hmm.
know. Wow. That and we could really cut this down and go deeper and deeper with this. It's I mean, there's a lot of factors, a lot of brainwashing, and I saw it also when Johnny was in the Marine Corps, because he would send me letters when he was in boot camp. They make the Marines write their moms, by the way. I have a book of his letters, and you can see the brainwashing from the beginning to the end. I mean, he loves the Marine Corps. Marines love their moms. I will tell you that. I have gotten so many sons, and I love my boys. From Johnny going into the military. And yeah, that's huge. So how could you do that faster, Chris?
Probably lean on people and then go through the VA, go talk to the psychotherapist that they have there, and not just go through the motions because you're only going to get out whatever you put in. So if you really want to get it done, then sit there, do the hard stuff, open up, and then get rebuilt. I played the game for a while. I'm like, no, I'm not broken. I'm not broken. Then I realized I'm actually broken. And it was not until I started going to the therapist that I started getting something out of it. But you just got to break down and do that. Is there something wrong with it? In the military, there is, but when you get out, no. Like in the military, there's always that stigmata about it. Don't go see them, go because they're gonna kick you out and all that. Look, if they're gonna kick me out. I'll be fine with it. There's life outside the army. There's life outside the Marine Corps. There's life outside the military. There's a group of people that'll help you out here. Other veterans that don't think that way. There's always people out here that'll help you out. So if you're gonna go through it, go through it. Just ask for help faster. The earlier you do it, the better off you're gonna be. I believe that's just my thinking.
Yeah. Yeah, deal with it sooner. I know we push it down, right?
Yep.
Yeah, we got to
Oh,
face
I'm
it.
good at pushing it down.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Have you done any breath work?
Um, Only to put me to sleep
Oh, okay. I use breath work
because
to put me to sleep too. Go ahead.
yeah, my mind won't shut off. If I start watching something on TV, if it's not comedy, something stupid that I've seen many, many times, and I won't stop thinking about it. And then I'm up for hours. And next thing you know, it's 4 o'clock in the morning. I'm going, why didn't I go to bed yet? So I use the breath work to put me to sleep.
I use that too now. At night, I just
Yeah.
focus on my breath and I fall asleep to that. And I've done a lot of breath work. Oh,
I have one for you.
okay.
You're a very strong person. And you can tell because you went through a lot of stuff with your losing your kids, right? What do people get completely wrong about strength?
I think there's a lot more people that are strong out there, but they're afraid. They're afraid. They're afraid to take that first step. They're afraid to open up their mouth. And I'm not afraid,
I think you're right.
you know. And I want, like, it's like I know what I want and I set again, the intentions, right? I mean,
Hmm.
I focus on what I want during the day and I do what I do to get it done. I know what I need to get done. I mean, I think strength can come in small steps. I think I took a lot of small little steps that made me stronger. Because in the beginning, I mean, yeah, I mean, I would be terrified, but I did something and I said, okay, okay, keep moving forward, and it worked. Um, and yeah, and it does, it makes you strong as fuck
Yep.
now. Now I am.
What is it? Crawl, walk, run.
Yeah.
You started crawling first and you started walking and now you're running.
Yeah. Yep. So, do you have it?
I have it.
Okay, let's do it.
So it's a Spartan Creed, and it says, I will not take my own life by my own hand until I
I will
talk to my
not,
battle buddy first.
sorry, I will not take my own life by my own hand until I talk to my battle buddy first.
My mission is to find a mission to help my warfighter family.
My mission is to find a mission to help my warfighter family. Hoorah.